Alright, YouTube, we back at it again. So today's video is going to be an update on my vehicle. I figure if you have a Genesis and you have had a similar issue, then this might lean towards you to help you out. So pretty much after we had put the new engine in this car, what was happening was that we were still getting the code for the random misfire. But the reason why we had changed the previous engine was because we had compression issues with the other engine, which is why we swapped it out. But it still didn't explain on why we was getting the code for the random misfire. So that same week after I got my car back, I had swapped out the injectors because the new engine that came in, apparently whoever had owned the engine before me, the injectors were all clogged up, they were dirty. It must have been they was using shitty gas. In my car, I use premium only. And I tried cleaning out the injectors, but it didn't do anything because of how bad they were. So I ended up going to the dealer and I bought new injectors. And since I was in there, I also did brand new spark plugs, but I was still getting the code for the random misfire on cylinder 2. Well, it was on cylinder 2, but it was on cylinder 4 and 6, which is on the left side of the engine, which is the easiest side to get to. So, being that I finally had the opportunity yesterday, I took it to a shop because me being a mechanic, I couldn't figure out what's going on, and my computer only tells me so much. So I needed someone with a more expensive computer to go look at my car. So when I went to the shop yesterday, the guy looked at my car. He took off all 3 coil packs. And he took off the new spark plugs. And this is the one of the spark plugs he took out. It's funny, brand new one too. You can see that it had the crack in it. Like it's missing the whole insulator. But you can see, brand new spark plug. Had no rust in it, not old. You can also see that there's another crack in it right here. I don't think it's even going to show or not, but anyway, there's another hairline crack here, you know, for NGKs, you know what I'm saying? For Iridium, you figure it would have been better. So what he did yesterday was he happened to have a plug laying around that was the same size that I use in my car, but it was a plug from the dealer. So yesterday when they took out the plugs, because I was getting the code for cylinder 4, cylinder 6, he took it out, and he had put one of these a factory spark plug in there. So then from there, after playing musical chairs, so pretty much cylinder 6, the code for cylinder 6 had run away, but now I had a code for cylinder 2 and cylinder 4. So he told me in the best interest, which I believe it makes sense, instead of using the NGK's Iridiums, go to the dealer and use the dealer plugs. Because it looks like, you know, the plugs from the dealer looks like it had fixed the issue, as far as I know. So these plugs for 3, they wanted $64, so I'm going to pick them up. I think these Iridiums are like $12 a piece. So I'm just going to go to the dealer, get the better ones, and I think that should solve my issue. I'm getting another issue. I think it's bank 1. Well, it's bank 1 cylinder 2, if I'm right. And that's just pretty much talking about low voltage. I'm gonna get that taken care of. My main issue is that I want to fix this random misfiring that's going on, because at least I know I can drive. I don't have to worry about the car running like shit, and I don't have to worry about messing up the engine either that we just put in there. So we're gonna get that taken care of. But most likely, if you got a Genesis and you're ever dealing with an issue with a random misfire, and you know that your coil packs are good, well, your ignition coils. If you know your ignition coils are good, and you know that your IAC is working, the auto air control valve is working, then most likely it might be the spark plug. NGK is supposed to be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be the best of the best. But obviously, in my car, it's just not liking it. So we're gonna convert to the dealer. I'm gonna go on Friday to the dealership to go pick them up, and then I'm gonna bring my tools with me just so that I can change them in the parking lot. So that on the way home, when I drive back home, I'll be able to psych everything, and then I'll be able to know if everything works. So that's the issue that we got going on with the vehicle. I was gonna post a video the other day about after me putting the starter into the vehicle, but I didn't have it. I didn't even post it because I figured it wasn't even worth it because I didn't even record much. But if you got a Genesis and your Genesis is taking more than 2 or 3 tries to start, it's not an injector issue. I thought it was an injector issue. It ended up being a starter. So my starter locked up on me. It was frozen, and you couldn't even turn it. So if you're ever having an issue with a starter for the Genesis, well, if you're ever having an issue of the car starting and it takes more than 2 or 3 times to start, it's a starter. So you can go ahead and write that note, and that's going to save you the issue of time and trouble. Because what's going on in my car is that when I turned it on, everything will light up like it had power, but it wouldn't kick over. So that's a starter that you're going to need on the vehicle. On the V8, they're on, let's see, I have a car in the driveway. I pushed it in. So on the V8, it's on the right side of the engine. On the V6, it's on the left side of the engine. So if you got a V6, you're going to be looking on the left side of the engine, and it's in between the catalytic converter and the motor mount. Just to let you know. And then also, I had a feeling I had to do with a few issues with my vehicle, because the day I put the starter in my car, the catalytic converter was getting cherry red, which means it's collecting unburned fuel. So hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna get the spark plugs Friday, slap them in there. If that fixes my issue, I'm good to go. Then all I have to do is deal with the issue with the O2 sensor, which is not that bad. It's probably just a bad connection, because I know one of my plugs were faulty. So I had an extra plug looking around. I depinned it, repinned it. So maybe it could have been one of the pins could have slipped out, or could it, or probably not clipped in all the way. So I'm gonna get that taken care of. And as far as that go, I think everything's done with the vehicle so far. Once I'm done with that, I finally should be able to get this car inspected, which I've been waiting for the last couple of years. So we'll get that situated and out the way. So otherwise than that, this is just an update video, YouTube. Be back on the map again. So stay tuned, stay positive. If you got any questions or issue with your Genesis, probably already had it, or I probably already fixed it. So feel free to send me a message, and we'll get your car fixed as well. All right, YouTube, we out.